Take a break from your busy schedule and join Harold Sala for Guidelines, a 5-minute commentary on living.
There is a great deal of difference between knowing that Christ was once on a cross for me and knowing that on the same cross on which he was crucified, he asked me to be crucified with him. So what does that mean? Every Good Friday outside of Angeles City, just north of Manila, Philippines, a few well-meaning but misinformed individuals actually allow themselves to be crucified, at least for a few brief moments. Then the individual goes to the river to wash, thinking that the water which washes away the blood will also wash away his sins. But this is not what all of this is about. Do you remember when Jesus was here, he called his followers to take up their cross and follow him, and furthermore, to do it daily. It wasn't a once-and-that's-it sort of thing, something you have to wrestle with every morning you wake up. But the very image that Jesus used, that of a crucifixion, was disturbing to the disciples, even as it is to us today. Why? The cross was lethal. It wasn't a popular cultural pastime in which to engage. Once a man bore his cross, his agenda died. His hopes were dashed. His future was as dark as the black shroud of death itself. It was only a matter of time for the end to be played out. A.W. Tozier was a man whose pen cut as deep as a Roman sword. He put it like this: "The man with the cross no longer controls his destiny. He lost control when he picked up his cross. That cross immediately became to him an all-absorbing interest, an overwhelming interference. No matter what he may desire to do, there is but one thing he can do. That is, move on towards the place of crucifixion," end quote. Christ on the cross bought deliverance from the condemnation of your sin. But your willingly and voluntarily allowing yourself to be there with him brings deliverance from the power of sin. Paul understood that far more plainly than we even want to glimpse. He wrote, "I have been crucified with Christ." St. Francis de Sales wrote, "The cross God now sends you, he is considered with his all-knowing eyes, understood with his divine mind, tested with his wise justice, warmed with his loving arms, and weighed with his own hands, to see that it not be 1 inch too large, and not 1 ounce too heavy for you." Your cross is your connection with the will of God, and it demands your surrender to what the Father wants of you. No, this is not to be feared. It is to be acknowledged as the stair steps to heaven, walking in the footsteps of Jesus, doing his will day by day, trusting him for his grace and strength to do what God demands of you. The cross represents obedience. Remember, Scripture tells us that Jesus was obedient unto death. That same obedience marks the man or woman of faith who can honestly say, "Not my will, Lord, but yours be done today." A final thought, something to take with you. The word Paul used when he said, "I have been crucified with Christ," is a past tense with a present tense application. In other words, it began at a certain point and continued. It began the day he shouldered his cross and began walking with the Lord. It continues day by day, with a renewal every morning. Must Jesus bear the cross alone and all the world go free? Asked Thomas Shepard. He answered, saying, "No, there's a cross for everyone, and there is a cross for me." We invite you to go to our Guidelines website at guidelines.org, and there you will find selections that explain what the cross is all about. It helps you understand why Jesus was there. Go to our homepage, guidelines.org. There's no cost or obligation. It's our gift to you. That's it on today's edition of Guidelines.